What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of our weekly podcast. We are batting practice. I'm Josh. Jacob's over there. Andrew's down there still. We got a great one for you tonight because we're recording a little bit earlier in the week this week. It is Monday currently, and the NBA season, Sorare NBA, along with the NBA season, starts tomorrow, Tuesday, October 22nd. We can't wait. We are so excited. I will throw it
Come
out
on.
there. The World
You said
Series
that
is
last week. Let's hear some excitement.
the we're excited. We're so excited.
Yeah.
Not
Uh
like you're 12. Not like you're Big Justice.
Boom! The NBA season. Boom!
Yeah.
I'm doing the dance. You can't see my legs, but I'm doing it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll throw it out there.
Talk about that
The World
dance.
Series is gonna start soon too, but who cares about that? Nobody cares about that. Those teams are annoying. Nobody likes the Dodgers or the Yankees. So we're moving on. But before we get into all of that, some hoops. Boys, can you dunk a basketball?
No, but I think I can touch. I can't touch rim.
What's the
I'm not
highest
gonna go
up you
out.
could touch? Backboard? Rim?
I easily backboard, but
Okay.
I don't.
Rim?
I think with some practice, if you gave me a training regimen, I think I could touch rim.
Okay.
My biggest problem with dunking, I cannot palm a basketball. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the biggest. And I don't think you can train for that. I think that's just God given. Maybe you
Yeah.
can,
Yes.
but I don't think my hand is big enough,
Mm-hmm.
Me neither.
unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what they say about small hands. But
I got big feet though.
in my heyday, it's compensation. In my heyday, before I discovered that I have at least two bulging discs in my back exposed, I think I could touch rim. I could get up there. I could box jump with the best of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I bet I could touch rim, but for dunking a ball for going up and over, no chance. Not even close. I don't think I could even come close to hitting the rim with a basketball. But I was always a shooter back in my day, you know?
Oh
Three-pointer,
yeah.
that was me.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh
was
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah. I like it.
I mean, Josh,
I'm
I
with
feel like
you.
you're the closest. You're the closest of any of us to being able to dunk, though. I would go on
Uh,
record to say that.
I think I have the same problem as you. I can't palm a basketball. My hands are actually small, considering I'm 6 foot. Ah, shout out to all the listeners out there. Now you know I'm 6 foot. It's on my
Stand
Wikipedia
up.
It's
page.
on his Tinder bio. Don't tell his
Yep.
Oh,
wife.
Okay. But yeah, I can't pull a basketball. I'm pretty confident I can touch rim. I could maybe get like a tennis ball to go down. I think that's about it. But I feel like I feel like I'm close. But I can't pull my basketball.
that's dunking. Okay, let's say we're behind the arc. I give you 10 shots. How many are you making?
Ooh, any warm up or just 10
Yeah,
Cold,
is this
cold,
off rip?
cold,
Oh
off
man.
rip. Balls in peak condition. It's a decent. We're not. This is the court is all right. There's no no rims that need to be retouched. It's ideal conditions. How many draining? Uncontested.
It's not one of those like god awful double rims you would go to the park as a kid and shoot on those things and the ball would just not go in no matter what because it would bounce. It would brick every shot.
Right. Balls properly inflated. Nothing. No whammies there.
Okay. No defense.
No defense. Unhindered. Uninterrupted.
But no warm up is what's throwing me.
No
No warm
warm
up.
up.
I'm giving myself legit like a 2 or 3 out of 10.
I was gonna say three.
My line is 3. I think it's impressive if you
Over
can make
under.
more
Okay,
than
we
3.
might have to do some batting practice since we haven't done batting practice yet. We might have to do some batting practice free throws and or 3-point shooting
Oh,
contest.
I like
Maybe
I would
that.
like that.
do a little outside of podcast content for the YouTube channel. That'll be kind of
Set.
fun. Just go to your local park and hit some threes.
But that
10
park
shots or go
is
to the
does
gym. The gym that I go to, if you go super early in the morning, the courts are wide open.
oh
But you have
that's
to
one
go at
thing my
like
gym does not
6.
have.
You have to
We
go
do
at
not have
6.
we have to
Ah,
go the suburb location has courts, so maybe I'll have to make the drive. Now that we got the car, I missed the podcast for the car. Now
That's
we can
right.
get content out of it, so it's all full circle.
Yeah.
There you go. Love
Batting practice, hoop dreams.
If I'm being honest, I'm not betting the over on any of us.
it. Wow. I think one of us
4?
could
You think
get
you could hit
lucky.
4?
Yeah.
If
I'd say
over
I'd miss
under
the
was
first.
3.5, you think you could go over?
I'd miss the first two, and then I think I could get into a rhythm. Do I have a rebounder?
Sure, you can
Oh, so
bring a
you want to
person,
dish right out to you and shoot
and
him quick.
Yeah,
but
in rhythm. If I get in rhythm.
it's going to be 3-point contest rules. You have to move along the arc. You can't you have 2 shots at each point. You
Oh,
don't
that
get to
changes
shoot.
it.
Yeah, so you get to move around, but you get 2 looks at the same spot, but you have to move. You can't just pull up in the center of the corner. You gotta show off your skills.
I'm going under then.
You're going
If I could,
under.
if I could sit, the corner was always my spot. So if I could sit in one of the corners, I'd go over 3.
Okay.
But if I'm moving around, I'm going. I can't shoot from like the key, from the shoulder. I can shoot from the top and I can shoot from the corners. It's the weird. I can't do the angle.
Okay. All
There we
right.
go. I think we're gonna have to do batting practice shoot around.
We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have
I
to
like
do
right.
it.
it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Let us know, listeners. Do you think we can? Can you? Are we the only
Judging
bad?
judging us solely based off of our like shoulders up and our
All right,
voices.
Okay, well
Jacob.
let me give you a 320-foot field to left and right and 375 to center. How many home runs you hitting on 100 pitches? You don't
No
have to
warm
answer
up.
that question, but that's my like equivalent. Like,
Yeah.
would we be that much better at baseball?
100 is a lot. I would say 10 pitches could you hit a home run.
Yeah, like if you've been working
One
on your
home
core,
run.
you don't need like connect with the ball, work on your ab strength a little bit. You can hit a home run.
I'm in
Um,
softball shape, so
yeah,
I've
exactly.
hit
Like
Yeah.
I've hit one pretty far in
we all have
softball a couple
swings enough
times.
that could do it, especially Nosh. Um, I don't know if you still got it. I remember you
I,
hitting. It was at our fields for high school. You hit one foul off of. Was it gone or maybe it was off the top of the fence, but it was foul and it didn't
it
count.
was
Mm,
gone. It
Yeah,
was
that's
very
right. It
gone.
was into the woods
Yeah.
behind left field.
My claim to fame in high school was we were taking batting practice and I hit a home run off of our scoreboard and I dented it. That dent is still
that's
there. I
cool.
check. Every time I've been
That's
back, I've
cool.
Really?
checked and it's still there.
What are they gonna do? Fix it? How do you
I
fix
think
that?
it, I
Buff it out. I don't
it's
know.
above the eye, I believe, in strike on the scoreboard.
Dang.
That's
Dotted the eye. There you go.
There you have it. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll definitely have to record something both for basketball and baseball soon enough. But I mean, speaking of basketball, Nosh, we're excited. Are we excited?
Yeah. Boom.
I
2 games
am.
tomorrow.
I was telling Andrew before you jumped on before, I'm a little exhausted. It's a problem. It's a whale problem to have, but oh my God, all of a sudden I'm entering 3 lineups per competition,
Yeah.
plus common, plus daily. I don't actually have
Yeah.
enough cards to do that, believe it or not. But I've entered 9 lineups, is what we determined beforehand. I can't
Wow.
even
Yep.
imagine being a whale in soccer, entering like 25 lineups a week. Than the crazy things that they do. But yeah, I feel like an exhausted whale. A beached whale.
Oh,
Oh no. But no, I'm like going through, I'm learning the ins and outs of Solar NBA and what it's going to be like this year, and I've discovered a couple of things already, that being one of them, that like, oh man, I'm going to have to really like go in depth to be setting my lineups this year. But another thing is just going like back through the motions of how to do your things, how to set your lineups, where to check so rare data, how to check so rare data, because it did take a little bit of a different route this time to get there. But I think that's just because we're not fully updated for the season, which is fine, because it starts this week. But yeah, there's just little things like that that I've been running across over this past week, getting fully into Sorare NBA. So yeah, let's just dive right in. And I mean, anything that you guys have noticed right off the bat here? I know there's some players that we want to talk about, some injuries that we want to talk about for sure. We can definitely start off with those. Let's start off with those. Why not? Because this is what you want to hear. These are players. I was looking at bargain players to get, not even their new season card potentially, but just to see what's out there
Yep.
for the first week. And there's some big injuries, specifically to our team and the Celtics, the champion, I would say, have two of the more prominent injuries to start off the season in Chris Middleton and Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah. So, what do you think? Any players that you guys were looking at, or any injuries other than those two surprise you starting off the season here?
Solar Data's game week center tool that shows you the projections. Not only does it show you top projections, I was taking a look at it this morning, just like I always do, but it's a good feeling because it's the first time in a long time that I've looked at it. A lot of the Orlando Magic are popping from an L10 value perspective. I think, but it's one of those things I don't think all of them are going to pop off. I think a lot of that, like three of the top plays this week, according to this, are going to be an Orlando Magic player. But if I were to be betting, I think only one of them will probably be an optimal play. Yes, they'll probably outperform their L10 because if you look at Cole Anthony, his L10 is 14. That's pretty. All you have to do is hit, maybe a couple threes and get an assist, and you're already there. He's right now projected 34 points, so he's looking like a very juicy play to start off. I think it's just there are so many teams where there's a lot of question marks, and as good as this tool is, I think projections, especially early on in the season, aren't they're more of a shot in the dark than let's say later on in the season where we have real L10s from this season. This is the point in the season where I think we know the least about every team, about every player, who's put in that work over the offseason, who is ready to take that next leap. And right now, this first couple weeks are just a guess. But if you can get ahead of that, you're going to be setting up really nice for this season.
Yeah, I think projections are a good thing in the grand scheme. I think it's easy to get caught up in them and then they become a bad thing if that's the sole thing that you're going off of. I like to think of them more as a guide, right? So if you're looking at this tool, which we'll show you in a little bit, kind of how we go about the process of setting our lineups and how we pick certain players and that kind of thing. But um you look at certain players and you see that they're plus projected to score plus 20 points, let's say. There's probably good reason why they're getting projected to do so. So that can kind of guide you to dive a little deeper, maybe pull up the injury report, maybe pull up some of the different NBA articles out there and see maybe why that player is projected to score that way. And same goes for a player that's projected minus 15. Um, I wouldn't say it's the end all be all, but you might not want to play that player because they just traded for somebody. They just called up a rookie from the G League who's playing to get minutes. There's a number of different things that could be causing them to lose minutes and therefore lose points. So I like to use it more as a guide. You stole Cole Anthony right out of my mouth because I have a Cole Anthony.
Wow,
Um,
lucky.
I know, yeah. But one of the other players I was looking at who's a little bit more of a shot in the dark is Ousmane Dieng from the Oklahoma
Yep.
City Thunder. You'll see a lot of these teams that didn't perform well last year have a lot more question marks, a lot more validity or variability in their starting lineups to start the season. And the Oklahoma City Thunder are no different. They are without their starting center, Isaiah Hartenstein for their first couple months of the season, among a couple of other players that might have been more borderline players. So looking at somebody like Dieng, not a direct replacement to Hartenstein, but could get more minutes in a smaller lineup if they decide to go that way without a center. So that's kind of who I'm looking at and kind of a primer as to what to look out for.
And you were saying it too, Josh, before we hit record. This is also the time of year where the guys that ended the season very poorly, like an L10, if you when you're looking at it, that's how the player did in the past. So lots of guys that performed really well to end the season, those would probably be bad plays this week. Lots of players that ended the season poorly. Josh, since this was your take, I'll let you give the name, but I thought that was a really good highlight. Not just those value guys, but looking at the players that ended last season poorly as a bounce back candidate, because you do get rewarded since some of these guys with big names have very low L10s relative to what they can actually put up.
Yeah, the one player I guess that stood out to me the most was Trey Young. Now, he didn't have the best season last year, especially towards the end of the season. His L10's only 33, and he's probably someone that if you have in your gallery or you're looking to add to your gallery, is going to be your captain, or if not your captain, probably close to it. And 33 is not captain scoring by any means. So he's projected to score around 44 in the mid 40s to start the season. Probably again, not quite that captain level, but a lot better than 33. So he's someone to look out for, who didn't really end the season well last year. The Hawks are going to be without one of their better rookies from last year, Kobe Buffkin, for at least the first game, maybe the first couple games. So Trey Young is a lock in the lineup. He's not going to be somebody that really benefits from an injury anyway, because he's always going to be there. He's going to get the minutes. He's going to have opportunities to score, but he might be a good player to start at the beginning of the year just because he might outscore that initial L10 score that he has.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean those are both good picks there. I would lean towards, no, I wouldn't say I would lean towards, but I was looking at the Magic as well earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and it is, I don't know. Do we have any Magic fans here? I know
Is Miguel?
I know I don't want to single out Miguel here. But I know that we might have some Magic fans in the crowd. How are we feeling about the Magic this year? Um I like them. Is that a cop out of an answer? No, I like them. I really like Boncaro as much as I don't like Boncaro because he went to Duke, but we can get over that kind of like Mark Williams for Charlotte. Like we can get over that. Grayson Allen, we can't get over that. We can never
No.
get over that he went to Duke or that he's Grayson Allen. But anyways, someone that I was looking at, I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but he's not actually projected that many points. But
Oh.
Al Horford. He's an
Mm.
old man, and his Sorare card costs $2.50, maybe $3. And you know what? He can shoot. He's a center. He'll get you those rebounds, and Porzingis is hurt. Horford will play minutes. Believe it or not, this old man is projected to play 31 minutes.
It's so many.
Yeah,
On the road, I
Yeah,
think.
sorry, 28 minutes. His average is 31 minutes, but I could see him playing more with with Porzingis out for at least until it's looking like the beginning of December. So think about that. It might not just be like a few weeks to start the season sort of by, but he might last you through the in-season tournament. Al Horford there too. So I guess that's someone that I wanted to throw out there as well. I mean, 38. He's 38. I'm 28.
Still
That's only
ball.
10
He can
years
still
older than
ball.
me.
He can still ball.
He can still ball. I like our picks
Yeah,
though there. I like our picks.
yeah,
Should we go over, I guess, how we make these picks? How do we do this in so rare data? Because first and
Yeah.
foremost, it is a bit confusing at the moment, like I said already, because it's not fully updated yet. But let's go ahead, Andrew. I guess if you no, do you want to go ahead and do your screen for both things? I guess why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Beautiful. So I got it already open. To Jacob's point, if you load this page, you will, let's see if I can do, yeah, this is how it looks normally. And you might say to yourself, how did they, I know it was working before. What did they do? You have to click these two
Everyone's projected
buttons.
0.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And what's weird is this first game week, it's today. It psyched me out so hard, guys. I thought
Everyone's still projected 0.
yeah, well, no, and I thought I saw this and I was like, oh my God, I missed the lineup. Like the
Oh.
season started today and I missed it. But thankfully, NBA does not play by MLB rules where they have a random noon kickoff to start the season, even though I kind of do like that. But we're calling it game week 2. I think they're going to update this. This is the actual first game week. And now if you go to that using this toggle, you'll be able to see all these beautiful names like we have. I think it's sorted by the best projected, which I definitely, before I forget, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. We touched on this in last week's episode of guys that we, Sorare MVP type players. To me, there's a clear top 4, maybe top 5 with these first 5 names. I'd maybe put the Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, Luka in tier 0, S tier, and then maybe Anthony Davis is the start of tier 1, A plus tier. Besides this, and again, all of these guys are around the same age. Luka is a little bit on the younger side, but what I want to know from a Sorare perspective, who do we think is not on this list right now, but could be if we looked at this in the beginning, in the end of the season, could be up there for highest projected games to start, game week?
I mean, my player that I like to go to, and I specifically had his common card last year because I liked it so much. He's number 1 right now on the Thunder in Shea.
Mm.
SGA,
Mhm.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Let's see. Yeah.
What's he
41.
projected? 40,
41.
55. 55 is his average, and he's only projected 41. I haven't looked at his
That's kind of
projections.
mean
Yeah.
to Shea.
I
That's kind of
haven't looked
mean.
at why he's projected 41. He's someone that I know can be that MVP quality player. And he was in the top 5 discussion for the entire season last year. Kind of went under the radar a little bit. Was definitely outshined by obviously Jokic because Jokic destroyed everybody, but also on the rookie of the year side, Wemby was kind of taking over all of the award show because he dominated everything. So Shea Gilgeous-Alexander went a little bit under the radar, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wasn't brought up as much in the discussion. Why he's projected 41, I couldn't tell you. He's projected 34 minutes, which is 5 minutes
Yeah.
under his average. But it is to start the season. So you could see more minutes as the season goes on. But yeah, he's the number 1 shooting guard on the Thunder. So that's someone I'm definitely looking at in that tier 1, or I guess you could say even star tier category.
Okay. I
Yeah,
like
I
it.
think
Definitely got
it's
growth.
important to remember at the beginning of the season not to get too panicked about players and score and time. It takes a little bit of time, especially in the NBA, for players to get in the groove. So if your star players aren't performing the way you want them to, I would just give them time, give them a few weeks, and most players will turn it around. Now, Andrew, I have 2 for you actually.
Ooh, twofer. Okay.
The first one I'll throw out there is it pains me to say I'm not the biggest fan of this player, but I think he has a chance to maybe be a dark horse MVP pick this year,
Whoa.
and that is Mr. Gun wielding Ja Morant.
Oh,
Now, this is the
Oh.
asterisk I'll put with this is as long as he doesn't do anything stupid, which he's known to do in the past, and plays a full season, I think he's gonna have a really
he
good
also got
year.
hurt. Like that wasn't
You did, you
stupid.
did. Yes, you're right. You're right. But I think he's gonna have a good season. I think the Grizzlies are gonna be pretty darn good this year, and I think he's gonna be the one leading them to a solid season. So I like Ja this year to kind of. I think he's always kind of hovered in that tier 1 area. I think this is the year he boosts up into that more star tier, your captain type player. The other one I want to highlight is kind of because of a trade that we've already talked about on this podcast, but I'm going to go with Anthony Edwards as my other
Oh, that was
player.
my guy. That was my guy.
Uh,
No, say
um,
your reasons.
Yeah. Let's hear
so
it.
I think especially in the NBA, players thrive off of being the star player on a team. I think there's exceptions to that rule. If you look at the Bucks, I think Giannis and Dame have a lot of room to both be stars in their own right. But I actually think losing Cat is going to help Edwards kind of boost himself into that number one player role.
Hmm.
Um, and the more he has the ball, the more minutes he gets as number one. I think he's gonna kind of jump up into that star tier. Um, I will say that he might have a little more defensive focus on him without Cat there.
Mm.
Um, I don't think DiVincenzo and
Not necessarily a bad thing.
not necessarily a bad thing, no. Who was the other player that they got? Who was the other player they got in that trade? I'm
Did
blanking
they
on
get
his name.
Randall? Julius Randall?
Yes, Julius Randle. Yeah. Julius Randle is a great basketball player. He's not Karl Anthony Towns. So I think Ant-Man will run that team, and I think this is his chance to show why he could be a top 5 to 10 player in the NBA. Another dark horse MVP pick.
If you missed it from last week's podcast, we actually went ahead and did the Twitter poll on who
Ooh.
won the trade between the
Ooh,
Knicks and the Timberwolves.
that's right.
And we had 72.7% of the vote say the Knicks, who now have the combo
Wow.
of Cat and Jalen Brunson. They won the trade. Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle got 27.3% of the vote. So about 75% or about three-fourths of people think that the Knicks won the trade there and are going to have the better duo. So that's what the audience thinks. And I guess it looks like we tend to agree.
Yeah,
But
I think there's a flip side to the car or the Anthony Edwards argument. Jalen Brunson is probably another popular player that could boost up into that top 5 to 10 players in the league. I do think Karl Anthony Towns takes a little bit away from that. Where as much as Anthony Edwards boosts up into being that number one player, I think Brunson kind of gets a little overshadowed by Karl Anthony Towns being on that team.
right, and we're talking purely from a fantasy perspective, specifically so rare. Like
Correct.
all of this, like I would imagine on the court, Ant is a better or Cat is a better player because of Brunson, and similarly, Brunson's a better player. But if you look at the amount of points, amount of stats that they're able to accumulate, unfortunately, the basket can only be scored by one person. But that they can get assists, they can get more rebounds if you're on a better team. But yeah, Ant was also my dark horse pick. Caveat, I do, and disclaimer, I picked up one today. I bought a limited Anthony Edwards because I wanted to put my money where my mouth is. As I was looking at this list, he was one player that I said to myself, I think he's outside of that top tier zero right now, but I think of the people on the list, he has the most potential. I think Shea would probably be my number two, but for me, I like to look at guys that are 25 to 28. I'm not saying that if you're over 28, you can't make that next jump, but I think physically it has, something to do with there where you literally grow into that next level. And by that argument too, I think Ja is also kind of on the bubble there. And yeah, as long as he doesn't get in any music videos or just sticks to basketball, I think he could have that be the next Luka face of the league type of player. Um, you know, is he has been the face of the league before, but not for good reasons.
I think another thing that goes with what we're talking about is looking at the price of these players.
Mm.
If you look at the top of the list, the top 5 people all cost Embiid's the cheapest at 84. And then from there it goes up to basically 100 and then beyond. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you look at players like, let's just say, Shea, also expensive. I don't know what is Anthony Edwards selling for right now, or Ja. Ja's
He's
selling
about
for what, 50 or 60?
yeah, Ja's definitely a value
63.
play.
So
63.
Ja, yeah.
a little bit more
Ja's
value there.
Ja's in-season cards are selling for like $70, but his lowest buy now price on the market is 33.
And then what is Ant-Man selling for right
I
now?
think Ants. So I bought Ants in season card for $38 today, and
There you
his
go.
I think his new
Yeah,
season's
it's
like
about what you
70,
can get him for,
75.
yeah. And then his in season's hovering around 90, it's hovering around 100.
Wow.
Wow.
So he's more expensive than Ja is Anthony Edwards.
It's
I
crazy though, that gap between in season and classic guys. Like
That is
to start
crazy.
to start the year, you this should be the biggest, but to me, as I look at that, it and again, I tried to put my money where my mouth is. I think classic cards are the value here. Not to say that you can't win that money back if you get that new season Anthony Edwards, but I definitely think if you the way I'm approaching it this season is I'm going to try to win new cards from my old cards, have competitive lineups in classic, and then if I win new cards, either sell it to eventually get new cards once the prices become more realistic. But I don't know. It's when we're saying those in season and classic differences, that's a huge gap. Do you guys feel that
Oh
or
yeah.
is that actually rational?
Um, it's rational if you have the liquidity to spend and want to hop right in on those new season competitions. In all means, go for it. If you are an everyday fantasy player, I would say that's a lot. That's a big gap. I have been solely looking at old season cards. Like, for example, totally under the radar, former league MVP, still a great player. He's just a little bit old and his team's a little bit old. Steph Curry.
Yeah.
His out of season card sells for $13.
Wow.
Wow.
13, yeah. So just something like that, even still, is like it's hard to look at those new season cards right now. I still fully believe that they will drop as we approach the in-season tournament as the season starts, but there might be that little hop up back for the in-season tournament. But I still think there's going to be a bit of a drop off for sure. But yeah, that to answer your question, long story short, yes. that's that's a lot.
Now, for all of our listeners out there that might have done it, the one argument I could hear as if I'm playing devil's advocate, theoretically, this at four new season competitions, this is the lowest number of entries you're going to see this season, and thus it should be the easiest to win. So if the prizes are the same this week as they are 20 weeks from now, but the number of people entering and the quality of lineups is worse, if you can make that money back in this first month, then everything that I said previously about buying classic cards is the way. That's like the one way I could see in-season card price or that being worth it if you're able to win that back immediately. But I'm sorry if you're not winning it back in this first month. I mean, yes, you could win, game week 30 this year, but it's just going to be that much harder once people like us, when we talk about when we have in-season cards and we're, entering those lineups.
Yeah, I mean, this like another thing you want to consider too, I guess, is the fact that not everyone has what am I trying to say here? I guess not everyone has joined that wants to join.
That's
Does
true.
that make sense?
Yeah, there's probably gonna be more people that should catch on as the season gets longer. They
Exactly,
might have
yeah.
they might have ads, on TV.
Right. So we might see an influx of new buyer, hopefully, because that'd be good
Yeah,
for the game. But if we see a new influx of buyers too, those prices could stay a little bit more
that's
level.
true.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good argument for buying
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So just to think about other things like that too. And I mean, again, if card prices stay that high, that's great for Sorare. That means we'll be seeing better prizes very soon.
Yeah.
Get those boxes loaded with essence.
Heck
Which,
yeah.
by the way, they're changing for football. If you did not see
Yeah.
that,
So I wonder then, will they just roll out the new implemented
yeah, I
version
think
for
so. I assume,
basketball?
yeah. I mean, it's probably got its own version to begin with.
Sure.
But yeah, there was like, that's a funny announcement. Literally the day before your basketball lineups are due. Um, I think we release this episode tomorrow on Tuesday as when we're recording
Oh
this
yeah.
because
Oh, we
why not?
gotta. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're recording this on a Monday for the first time in a while. And yeah, we're gonna release this the day of or the day before, in
Woo.
fact. So let's go. Let's go. So these are
Yeah.
if you're a release time or release day listener, you're gonna get some insider information here.
There you go. I think one caveat I'll say quickly, one player who you don't see on the list that we're currently looking at, if you're watching, wherever you're listening to us, is the face of the NBA, the new NBA. Victor Wembanyama is not on this list. We're not including him because he's not a dark horse player to be in that star tier. He is in that star tier. Um,
Stafford's 59.
it's interesting that they don't have him projected to score. I don't think he has an injury designation right now. He was just not playing in the preseason because he was resting. Um, if you actually go to his player profile on
Let's see
Sorare
this.
data, he's projected in the 50s and 60s for the first couple games. So
Yeah.
he's the type of player that falls into that top 5 to 10 category that we keep talking about. We just didn't mention him because he's already a big name and already scoring amazingly in the NBA.
If anyone was wondering, you can instant buy a Wemby right now for $406, an in-season
Yep.
card.
Yep.
Wow.
Out of
That's
season, the
crazy.
cheapest we got is 280.
Wow.
That's a rookie card
Percentage
though. It's a rookie card, so it
Yeah.
should maintain a decent amount of
Collection.
value too.
and percentage wise, that's the smallest gap if you compare in season
That's
to out
true.
of season.
That is very
That's
true.
the
It's less
Wemby
than
in
two
season.
times.
Yes, very much less than 2 times. So maybe Wemby, maybe that snap floor deal is a steal. Who
Yeah,
knows?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andrew, if you click on his SO5 scores quickly,
Yeah, let's
yeah, right
see them.
there.
Let's see these beautiful scores.
The
Oh,
nice thing too is
82.
if you look up at the top, it'll show upcoming games, and then you can actually see
Oh,
his projections,
that's pretty
which
cool.
for some reason So Rare Data didn't include in that list we were looking at before, but that's okay.
That's pretty sweet. Oh yeah, here we go. These are the projections.
So her data must hate the Jazz's defense. She's
Yeah,
projected 68.
and speaking, so and then before we should show off this tool. Right now, I think it's sorted by the top scorers. All these guys are names that we've heard of. But probably the coolest feature within this is finding those cheat code, those value plays, and all you have to do to see that for a given game week is click on the difference, sort it by that way, and you can even apply your own gallery to this to only see those players. But like we were saying before, Cole Anthony, uh, top play of the week. So congrats to Nash for having him. Generally, what we see, but it's funny. I think it'll be interesting as we record this. If you tune in when you're listening, usually we see a hockey stick movement leading up to the game line. I'm not seeing that right now. So maybe
Should I buy one?
it's
Should I
not
buy
too
one?
late. It's not too late. That or people think Sorry Data's projections aren't good. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, sort it by difference. And then if you want to be a whale like me, you can see what cards I have. So my top guy, according to this, is Jalen Smith. So look at that. You can even do it with your own gallery. But maybe I'll have to add Cole Anthony too. We can be Team Cole Anthony.
I
Someone
like it.
just accepted an offer 3 hours ago for a rare Cole Anthony, $9.91. You
Wow.
can buy
Dang.
a rare Cole Anthony right now for $10.17. In-season card, of course, is going for a lot more than that. But if
Oh
you're a
yeah.
rare player looking for a quick start to the season, Cole Anthony. How about that? Who?
I said, ooh.
Oh, okay. Where did Cole Anthony go to college? I know.
Cole Anthony.
Do you know?
Was it
I
UNC?
It was UNC.
I
Yeah.
figured
Oh, Chapel
you had the
Thrill,
homer
baby.
bias.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I
So
do not
star of
know.
the show. Oh, do we have to do an NBA pickle? I don't think my brain
Oh.
is ready for that.
Ooh.
Have you
Not
done
enough.
okay, I haven't done the pickle since we did the Garrett Cole pickle last
Oh, we
week.
could do so with the MLB pickle, we could literally only guess Dodgers and Yankees now. So that would be
Oh,
fun.
that's fun.
That would
That's
be
fun.
fun. But before we get into that, is there any other NBA stuff real quick that we should touch on? I mean, it's been a bit of a shorter podcast today, but that's all right. I mean, we got into some good NBA talk for sure. Um,
Daily games. So I
yeah,
haven't
let's
set
talk.
my lineup for that. That's gonna be cool.
Oh, you know what? Of course. Let's go and check out our account. Our
Oh
batting
yeah. All right. I
practice.
got it up. Oh yeah.
Yeah, here we go. So this is what it's like
Oh, look at that.
entering an NBA season here.
Yeah. Okay.
There we are.
Nice little walkthrough. You can win cool stuff. Let's go.
NBA
Select a
Sorare
star.
season.
Okay, this is who's our star, guys? I don't know. I mean,
Ooh.
Ooh.
we go with the homer bias in our
Okay.
boy.
You want, can I expose myself? I did not know you could scroll down.
What? Every
Nope.
player is available.
Nope. I thought you just
Okay.
got four. I thought you just got four.
Oh,
I thought you got the first four up there.
Who did
scroll,
you
everyone.
pick?
Scroll.
I picked Joel Embiid.
I was gonna say you pick
Okay.
Embiid.
It's interesting that you say that because last week during the episode, you mentioned how you filled the cap perfectly.
Perfectly by accident.
Whereas I scrolled and picked Giannis, and I'm like 60 points under the cap because of how bad the
What?
commons were that I got.
Wait,
Wait, so it's
what?
completely random?
I have no idea how they do it.
That's
But
crazy.
looking at my hoops team right now, two players are hurt.
What?
I can't even fill a full lineup because two players are hurt.
Wait, can you use a swap? Can you swap?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to
You're gonna
swap.
have to swap. Swap now and swap tomorrow.
Oh, real quick shout out. I love the daily rewards. That's fun.
Yeah,
That keeps you coming
Yeah.
back. That's a good idea
I
for the
do.
daily hoops.
I do like it.
Essence, man. If you got like one essence, or I guess you get two boxes a week. If you got two essence a week, 25 weeks, you got yourself a card. That's the season, probably, right?
Yeah.
All you need to do
Easy.
is sign in, and you got yourself a card.
All right, we got to go with our boy Giannis.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to see these comments. I
Wait, so
also picked
Jacob,
the Bucks. I
I
picked
picked
the
the
Bucks
Bucks
as
as my favorite team. I picked the
okay,
Bucks
I was
as my
gonna say,
favorite team.
did you pick Charlotte because you only saw the first four?
I
Yeah.
just realized
No,
this.
I scrolled down. That's so weird. I scrolled down for the Bucks, but I didn't scroll down for the players. Oh my god.
That's funny.
Exposed. I saw
Oh, we
Andre
got
Jackson.
a LeBron.
What?
We got a LeBron, boys.
We got two tier one?
No. That's just the preview.
Is it?
We got a LeBron. No,
Are you
we
sure?
have okay, look at this. I'll show
If
you,
we have a
Josh.
LeBron, this
I'll
is
show you.
rigged. I got the worst starting commons in the history of Sorare.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, we got a LeBron, bro.
Whoa,
We got a LeBron. And we got
DeJounte Murray too. Dude.
Oh my god.
What?
This is rigged.
Our team is cracked.
What? Drew Holiday, D'Angelo Russell?
Oh my god. Our team is so good. Oh my god. Well, I'm not going to actually set up because we can set our own lineups. This is
Michael
purely
Bridges?
for the
What?
podcast.
What?
Okay.
Manuel
So-
quickly.
This is the
Nosh?
opposite.
Wait,
Again,
I think
I'm
Nosh, you
upset.
have to show us your screen.
Yeah, show us
Let
your
me
team.
show you. Let me show
Let's-
you.
I promise you, my own hoops team is not this good.
So
Drew
Giannis.
Holiday.
DeJounte Murray, Drew Holiday.
Okay.
Middleton, who's hurt. Portis, Jaquez, Josh Giddey. Woo.
Just
Like,
kidding.
look at the
Oh,
fall
God.
off here.
Wow.
Do you see the
That's-
difference? Also, they gave me what, like 5 Celtics players, and I picked the Bucks as my favorite
Yeah,
team.
right.
Like,
They're just trolling you.
They
Oh,
are
man.
trolling.
Well,
Joe
there you go.
Ingles.
Yeah. I assume most of the listeners have already gone through and done their teams, but it is always fun to do it while recording the podcast. So
So real quick on these games tomorrow, is this
Yeah.
what the NBA is predicting for the Western and Eastern Conference Finals?
Oh, that's why they put
Knicks,
him on the
Celtics,
first day.
Lakers. Think Bronny and Bron are going to the final no matter what.
I love this lineup.
Out,
This lineup
out.
is so bad.
Like, what?
Oh, it's so bad.
Hey, Peyton
Unbelievable.
Pritchard, the Lone Ranger down there.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Are we gonna see these? Are these teams gonna go on playoff runs?
That's a good question.
Lakers,
Should that be our next
Timberwolves?
Twitter poll?
Ooh.
Eastern and Western Conference Final. I feel like that could be an Eastern Conference Final. I could believe that.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't see Western, but you never know.
I mean, we got Dodgers Yankees, so
That's
Lakers,
true.
Lakers, you never know.
It's true. The 12s, though, I don't know.
I feel like the 12s are just like the Guardians. They're the Guardians of basketball.
It's true. It's true. That is true.
Even though I
All
guess
right.
it'd be more like the Cavs. Well, Josh, you
Now
got
that I'm
screwed by
here-
comments. You got screwed
I
by
know.
comments.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
hilarious.
I'm gonna win the
That's-
limited one anyway, so
Oh, wow, what a whale.
should I just pick all
Yeah.
my top players? Where does that put me?
So,
Perfect.
There you go.
well, we got to talk about this. Did you not read the rules?
No, I didn't read the rules.
Well, do you know assists count more?
Oh, yeah. I did know it was assists, yes. So I'll have to
So-
look at this a little bit closer.
Yeah. So take that into account. Again, daily
Although-
competitions, more fluid.
The only player I would probably switch out would be, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look at it a little bit closer, but that's a pretty solid lineup, I'd say, for the first day.
That's a good lineup, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anything else before we move on to the pickle? Now that I have it up right here.
No, I think
Good
that's
luck.
that's a good little start to the NBA
I'll even
season. Last
confirm
week
it.
we did like the
Yeah,
primer.
don't forget your lineups.
Yeah. Click submit. Don't just set them. Also click submit. But yeah, we got a nice little primer, and today we went over some players, some lineups, and even went through what it's like starting off, opening up Sorare NBA for the first time. So
Yeah.
if you missed it, definitely check us out on YouTube for sure, because that's where you can watch with the video and all that
Subscribe.
cool stuff. Yeah, subscribe there too. But of course, MLB Pickle. It's time to do the pickle, but we can only guess players that are playing in the World Series until we're ready to commit to a player. All right.
Yep.
Before we do this, also, if you have never played Sorare before and you want to start, you can just sign up using our link. It's in the description.
There we go.
There you go. $50 market dollars. $50 in market credit that will get you a player of your choice. For MLB, I am assuming that that's what it's going to be for NBA as well, but we'll have to look
Yeah.
up the referral code, exactly what you get for using that for NBA for next week's episode for sure. But pickle.
I know
Let's
who
do
we're
it.
picking for this, by the way.
All right, send it.
It is a $50 credit, by the way.
It is a $50. Okay, thanks for looking it up right away. Producer, Andrew. Tommy Edman, legend. Cardinals legend? Send it.
What a bad trade by the Cardinals.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Okay.
That
Righty,
means we
righty.
already can't guess the team.
Or that could be.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
either the NL Central, the NL East, or the AL West.
It's a righty.
Not
and he's
from the
29.
USA,
It could
though.
be lefty righty too, correct?
Could be
That's true.
lefty,
That
righty,
could be.
or we shouldn't have guessed a switch hitter, but that's all right.
You're right.
If it was Edmund, that would have been crazy.
Not from the USA. So we can try and go for position,
Go with
country.
like
Garrett
Louise
Cole.
Heel. Louise Heel. Go with someone
Yeah.
not from the USA.
Yeah. Our
Okay,
best
so it's
hope is
Okay,
in
NL
so
the
it's the
East.
future.
it.
It's NL East.
Oh yeah, not a pitcher, not a
Not a
starting
pitcher.
pitcher.
Okay,
Not
let's
a
try
starting pitcher
Otani.
yet.
Is it? Let's see if they're Japanese.
Not
He's do like because his position is like two-way player and he's the
Oh
only one
yeah,
in
you're
member
right.
for
You're
pickle.
right.
Yeah. So I feel like you should do like
Teoscar.
yeah or no, he's from Dominican. Do like
Oh
Andy
yeah.
Pajes. I believe is from Venezuela or Cuba. Yeah.
Oh okay,
Oh,
Okay.
he's
Cuba,
Cuban.
and
Okay.
he's 29.
Okay.
What did we decide it
In
was?
the
NL
NL
East.
East.
Wait, couldn't it also be the AL
Is Edwin
West?
Diaz Cuban?
No.
Why not?
The AL West?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
it
this is
could.
AL
Yeah.
West, AL.
Yes.
Shoot.
So we won't know what division they're even in.
Okay. Well, let's go for
Interesting.
the position. Um, I guess just go by position now. Guess like Freddie.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Not
What
first
about?
base.
guess like Clay Holmes or Luke
Yeah, I
Weaver,
was gonna
just
say a
in case it's a
closer.
relief. If it's a relief pitcher, we might be screwed.
No, it could be like Edwin Diaz.
Okay,
He's not a
good.
relief pitcher. Diaz is from the Dominican Republic, I believe.
He's a Dominican. Okay.
Um,
Okay. Righty from Cuba who's 29 and might play in the AL West or the AL. Sorry, the AL West or the NL East. AL West. No. A's, eh.
No.
Angels, eh. Adolis Garcia?
Okay.
Adolis Garcia.
DH.
It has to be. It has to be. He's from Cuba. Send it.
what's he listed
Send it.
as?
He's 31.
He's 31.
No.
All right. Well, here. Well, no, let's send it. Let's send it. We still got to do it.
That was a good enough guess. I feel like
It's like we can do Family Feud rules where you get
Yeah.
3 strikes and you're out.
we tried.
Okay, I like that.
All right.
Okay, but we'll learn. Okay, it's
So it is the
ALS.
AL West,
Mhm.
and they're 29, and they're not a right fielder. So left fielder, second base, shortstop, third base. In the AL West, not the Rangers. So it's Angels,
A's,
Angels.
Mariners.
How is Rengifo from Cuba?
No.
Julio's too young.
Yeah. It could be Astros.
Hmm.
Pena? Pena's probably too young.
Pena's too young.
Oh, Dubon. Where's Dubon from?
Oh, he's still
He's
too
center,
young, I think.
is he center field too?
I feel like he's still too young.
He's everything.
I don't think it's
He's
the
everything.
Astros.
Do you
Rangers
think
can't
that what's his face is listed as a DH
What's his
um
face?
for the Astros?
Well, we could
Lefty.
do Stanton. We could do Stanton, and we could see if it's a
Jordan
DH.
Alvarez is a
Yeah,
lefty.
Alvarez. Oh yeah, you're right.
Let's see if it's a DH. Let's go
Oh yeah.
Stanton.
Okay. Yeah. Go back to the well, we're gonna have 2 more strikes no matter what, so
It's true. I like it. Come on.
oh, it's not a DH. Wow.
So it's probably an infielder.
Infielder in the
Right.
AL West. Oh man. The AL West is
Should we
far
guess?
away.
Should we guess? Should we guess Soto? See
He's
if
right field.
it's a right fielder.
Why?
We have right field already.
um oh.
Oh, we have a right field. Oh, there we go.
This is
We need a
this
left
is
fielder.
Coming.
this is
Not
tough.
coming. Okay.
This is tough.
I really don't think it's the A's. I don't think they have any Cubans. I could be wrong about that. Mariners, it could be the Mariners.
Yeah.
Robles?
Try
We
it.
haven't guessed a catcher yet either.
Oh. Guess like Austin Wells.
Let's go. Yeah.
And if it's not a catcher, we're just gonna have to send it. Ooh, all right.
Second base, shortstop,
second
third
base,
Okay,
base,
well here
left
let's
fielder.
let's is Robles, does he fit? Is he 29?
He's 27. He's from the Dominican Republic anyway.
Nope.
um,
Who else even plays for the Mariners? Like, I can't even think of who their middle infield
Randy?
is. Oh,
The
yeah.
trade? Oh, it was
Oh my
easy.
god, no way.
Wow, we should have got that earlier.
Yes. Oh,
We'll
let's
take
go.
it though. It was a left fielder after all of that. It was a left
Oh, the
fielder.
trade, man.
These trades.
Yeah, he wasn't even on my radar. Good call
Dang
on
it.
that.
Should have had that earlier. Should have had that
Dang.
earlier.
Jordan is also Cuban.
I see. I knew that. I just knew he was a lefty.
I
And
forgot he
same
was
with
a or I
Adolis
didn't forget
Garcia.
that.
I thought that was
Yeah.
it for sure. But whatever.
And Adolis Diaz of the A's.
Oh, Aledmus Diaz is on the
Ah.
A's and from Cuba.
Dude, shout
All right.
out Cuba, man. Shout out the Cuban ball players. Bunch of
Honestly,
legends.
Jose
Yasiel Puig.
Canseco.
Jose Canseco and Yasiel
Shout out.
Puig, two top tier baseball players that never
Legends.
had any controversies.
Never. On that note,
Luis Robert.
and just gonna
I
just
knew
keep
he was
reading off
he was actually the
Cuban ball
pickle guess
players.
who
No,
recently.
this is from my head. This is from the head.
Sure.
Bill Ortega.
Oh yeah, you pulled that one out, huh?
Uh-huh.
Bill Ortega. He's got baseball.
Vladimir Gutierrez.
Oh, another good one.
Yasmani
more.
Grandal.
Hey, shout out. Let's go. Brewers legend.
Here we
Oh
go.
yes, Andrew, you can get a Bill Ortega autograph card for $5.72.
There you go.
Wow.
Buy it up. Oh boy. Okay.
No, thank
On
you.
that note.
End the podcast now.
All right. Well, there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed listening. Little NBA insight for you. Get used to it because there's going to be a lot of NBA content coming up in the near future now that it's the start of the season. We hope you are as excited as we are. We can't wait. It's going to be a great season ahead. Don't forget to check out all of the socials. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Leave a rating wherever you're listening to the podcast. And until next week, you just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game.
Peace. Peace.